Let's make sure everything's working okay. All right, we're good. All right, guys, I'm back. Did not want to end like that. So, like I said, we're gonna try something again. And I hate the fact that I keep having to like restart these over and over again, but here's the reality I think we're facing. Next gen Madden, you're more likely to get fired as the coach if you just don't fulfill promises. So instead of worrying about something like that, we're going to be doing it from the owner's perspective because the owner can't fire themselves. The only way you can be fired as the owner is if you finish in the negative during a few particular seasons. So I'm going to try to make sure to keep an eye on that to make sure we don't finish in the red in terms of like we're bleeding money and all of that, so that way I can keep rebuilding a team until I ultimately win a championship. But ultimately, rebuilds need to take about 4 to 5 years in order for me not to worry about losing the team. So that's the reality we're facing. So what team are we going to rebuild? Well, it's going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know some of y'all may be looking at this and thinking, do the Jaguars really need to be rebuilt? And the answer, in a ways is no. They don't need to be rebuilt from the ground up. We don't have a rookie quarterback, but we have a young quarterback in Trevor Lawrence who should have taken the next steps by now, but in real life is, struggling. I mean, the Jaguars were a team that was in control of the AFC South last season, and then unfortunately they had the injury to Trevor Lawrence, and they had some other issues, and they lost a bad doozy of a game to the Tennessee Titans in what ended up being Derrick Henry's last game in Nashville last season at the end of the year, and they missed out on the playoffs, finishing at 9-7. And this season, they haven't started out very well. I think the Jaguars have started out the season like 1-3. There's a lot of questions about whether Doug Peterson is going to survive this next season. If, they finish 2 years in a row with back-to-back non-playoff seasons, that may be an axe on the chopping block. So when it comes to rebuilding the Jaguars, this isn't a team that's low rated or anything like that. I mean, they're in the low 80s across the board in terms of our rankings, as you can see right there. But overall, this team has some, good, talented players, and but still is lacking some of the final pieces and maybe young players that they need to take the next step to getting back to maybe being on the cusp of getting to an AFC championship or a Super Bowl. So that's what I'm here to do. The first season, we may actually be a decent team. We may be able to actually make the playoffs this season. But, these rebuilds are all about putting the finishing touches on a team and getting in the Super Bowl. So that's what we're going to be doing with Jacksonville. Let's meet the 2024 Jacksonville Jaguars. Of course, these rosters are all updated. We got Trevor Lawrence, our starter. Mac Jones, our backup quarterback, and even then, Trevor Lawrence is still only a 76. So if there is a temptation and we actually maybe can get a quarterback to challenge him next season, I would not hesitate to doing that. Even though he has a superstar listed next to him at 76 overall and regressing, don't really know how much longer I can keep Trevor Lawrence at quarterback if he's not going to do anything to help this team win in the postseason, other than that big win against the Chargers a few years back. Travis Etienne, though, good running back. 90 overall. Got a 74 Tank Bigsby, was pretty solid. D'Ernest Johnson, 72, the former Brown. And we got Keelan Robinson, who unfortunately is hurt. We don't have a fullback, so I'm probably going to go out and sign one just to help out with that. Receiving core could use some work. Christian Kirk is solid, and so is Gabe Davis. But none of these guys are really that great. We do have the rookie Brian Thomas. He actually is on my fantasy team, believe it or not. So that's some attraction there, but we could still use some help at receiver. Devin Duvernay is a journeyman, but this receiving core lacks a real superstar receiver. I'm not saying Kirk's bad, but they don't really have a number one true guy. Like back in the day when the Jaguars had Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell, you had a dynamic duo of receivers who you knew could get 1,000 yards every season in their sleep. And that's what the Jaguars, I think, are really missing. And that's going to help out a 76 overall quarterback, because this offense right now, we got a good running back. We got a guy in the 90 club, but our receivers, not that great. they're decent, but they're not any superstars. We got no high 80s guys, no 90s guys. Tight end wise, Evan Ingram is our highest rated pass catcher at 89 overall. I mean, that's not bad. It's always good to have a tight end who's capable of maybe getting better than what he is. Who knows if he'll get better and then he'll get in the 90s. But Evan Ingram is a solid piece to build around. Cam Robinson is our starting left tackle. Unfortunately, he's actually injured right now. 81 overall, so that's not too bad. Left guard could use some improvement. Morris is also banged up at 81 overall, but he's still pretty solid. 84, Brandon Sheriff is pretty solid. Right tackle could use some work. Eric Armstead, the former 49er, not bad at 81. We got a 91, Josh Allen, a.k.a. Josh Hines Allen. His name's been changed, but he's still Allen. He's still Josh Allen, not the Bills quarterback. There's two Josh Allens in the league. But anyway, 91 overall defensive end. Okay, that's pretty solid. Defensive ends are pretty good. Defensive tackles, 75, 74, and a 72. So we could use some help there. We could use help at linebacker on the left side. Lloyd is solid at 81 overall. 88, Oluokun, not bad. We have an 81 Tyson Campbell, but he's banged up. Ronald Darby is getting up there a little bit in age, but he's 76 overall, which isn't too bad. But we could use some more help at corners. Trey Flowers, of course, is still here. We got an 81 Cisco free safety. We got a 77 Darnell Savage, the former Packer who picked off Dak Prescott like 50 times in the playoffs. Just kidding. Anyway, 27 years old, so still very young. So secondary, not bad, but could use some improvement. We could use actually some improvements in our kicker and punter because sometimes you never know. You got to keep yourself out of a tight jam, and in simulation that helps out to have the kicker and punter. So this Jaguars rebuild is not really going to consist of like rebuilding from the ground up. It's really just us trying to find those few maybe pieces and just put the final puzzle in place to make the Jaguars into a Super Bowl championship team. I think that's the idea that we're going with right here. And meanwhile, in the preseason, we've started out the year 1-1. I'm actually going to go into free agency and see if we can get a fullback on the roster because we don't have one. And actually, there's no fullbacks available, so that's not even something we can really do. We could steal from. We'll wait for that at the end of the preseason because then people will start putting players on the practice squad, and we can steal a fullback off of somebody's practice squad just so we have a fullback. We have 17 staff points here. So here's our coaching staff. We got Doug Peterson, Brett Perkins, our offensive coordinator. We got Mark Anderson as our defensive coordinator. So let me go to our offensive coordinator because I feel like we could really use some help here. Let's go ahead and do this upgrade here. Perkins, get him some points, get his rating up a little bit. Let me see if we don't have to do any cut days, but I'm pretty sure that we could get somebody from the practice squad of another team. There's no fullbacks in the practice squad. Oh, practice squad ineligible. Adam Pretense. Okay, can we get him? Let's sign him to the active roster because we need a fullback. Okay, so we've got a fullback now on the roster, which is pretty good. We do have to cut one player, but let me see what this does to our roster in terms of our fullback situation. So yeah, getting Pretense in here, he actually fits our scheme, which is actually a little bit of an added bonus. So yeah. So we do have to cut a player to get our roster down to 53. Don't really think there's anybody that is too much of a problem we can't cut. We have three running backs. We've got a bunch of receivers. I think this guy, Tim Jones, we can cut him. All right, then. So now we got our roster set up for the regular season. Let's go ahead and advance to next week. And our first game, of course, against the Dolphins. In this video, we're going to be doing the first full season, and we're also going to be doing the off-season as well. So let me import a local file because we got to get our proper draft class in here. This is the 2025 draft class. Let me double-check and make sure everybody's here. Yep, there's Jalen Milroe, there's Shedeur Sanders, Quinn Ewers, Carson Beck, and everybody. So we got accurate rookies for this year, which is great. So we've got that. All right, so... And with us being the owner, we don't have to do any of those preseason promises, which will actually make it better for me to focus on just the aspect of rebuilding the team. And this is how I'm probably just going to do rebuilds from here on out, because the whole conundrum with the Denver Broncos was we couldn't fulfill any of the promises. We would get on terrible losing streaks. Then again, maybe it was the team, but you have to fulfill promises. If you don't, you get fired. We promised 7 wins. We only got to 5, and we lost our job. And we started having see the morale dip in a lot of the players, and unfortunately, it resulted in Pat and Gaffney getting fired, who we were controlling. And by the way, we actually have Tony Baselli as the owner. What better owner to create and come back to help the Jaguars win than the first player that was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame from the Jacksonville Jaguars? I'm just saying. Anyway, so here we go with the start of the regular season. Let's simulate to the middle of the season and see where the Jaguars are at. Well, we've actually started out pretty solid. We're actually 5-2. I want to actually take a look at our roster again because I want to see if we have somebody who I am familiar with, but I don't know about everybody else. Yeah, Miles Cole is on the roster. Red Raider. Hey, I know he's only a 65 overall, but I'm going to have a soft spot for Miles Cole. Hopefully he can stay on this roster for a couple of seasons. I'm just saying. All right, well, so far so good, actually. We've started out the season 5-2. That's not too bad. I want to take a look at the injury report because a little bit before the season even started, we had a boatload of injuries. So Gibson is on IR, Wingard is on IR, Tyson Campbell is on IR, and none of these guys can return, even though they don't have any more injuries. So despite the fact that we're short in, a few areas, we're still starting out 5-2, which is pretty good. But, Gibson and Campbell being out kind of hurts, in terms of us being able to really do too much. So, let's still get a decision to staff. Let's get to the negotiating screen and see where we're going with our players. All right. We do have some guys in the low 80s, but, Cam Robinson, I think, is a priority right now. Great deal. Okay. So he didn't take the offer, actually. Cisco, 81 free safety. Let's see if the neutral deal is enough. I want to say yes, but I can't fully commit right now. Okay. Brandon Sheriff, I think, is worth keeping here on a player-friendly deal. Excited to sign. Great. But now we only have $10 million left. Oh, God. So, yeah, we're struggling in terms of financial capabilities. And I don't think we can adjust contracts yet. Can we? Can we do anything with that right now? I don't think we can. I know that now you can adjust contracts. No, I can't even do anything with the contracts right now with the guys. Maybe that won't be able to be a reality until the following offseason, but we'll see. Who knows? We may just have to trade some guys away during this offseason that we have coming up. It may just be the way it is. We have $10 million left, and I still want to sign these two guys. And are there any more guys left in the 80s? Everybody else, well, Gibson's getting up there in age, but I think he's replaceable. Oh, Lloyd, we just have to accept the option. Okay. And we can accept the option for Trayvon Walker. Okay, so definitely I'm going to accept the fifth-year option with Lloyd and Walker. But I think everybody else I'm willing to let walk. But I want to see if we can at least franchise tag Cisco or Cam Robinson or get one of these guys back on a long-term deal. And the rest of the roster, we just may have to fill out with rookies and anybody we can get in the draft who's maybe lower rated, but we will see. The Packers this week, 2-5, so they're not very good. And we beat the Packers, so we are now going to face off against the Eagles on Sunday Night Football. And we got to answer a media question here. This is probably about how the team's been doing. Your team's in a good spot. Make the playoffs, and I know we can get there. This is definitely in the first season of playoff team. I know a rebuild may not consist of a playoff appearance in the first year, but with some rebuilds, you never know. And based on the salary cap situation, we're going to have to let some guys go and possibly trade away some players in order to make some room. So, we're going to keep who we can, but we're going to be restricted in terms of some of the stuff that we're going to be able to do. So, I think a player-friendly deal for Cisco may be the way to go. That's a good offer. Now we have $9.4 million left. Can we get Cam Robinson to maybe come back on a player-friendly deal? It's 3 years. Offer is perfect. Okay, so we don't have to worry about franchise tagging anybody, but we only have $8 million. So I think we're just going to have to let everybody go. We are going to accept the fifth-year option for Lloyd and Walker because those are two young guys that I feel like this defense can still build around. But we fortunately were able to get Robinson and Cisco inked into new deals for the offensive line. And also we got Brandon Sharif to sign a couple of weeks back. So that solidifies some positions on the offensive line. You know, when it comes to rebuilds, if there's an offensive lineman that's even in the 80s, I tend to want to bring them back because usually free agency doesn't have really great offensive linemen available in the free agent market, and I don't think we're going to be able to get an upgrade more for Cam Robinson or Brandon Sharif because of just the fact that there may not be a guy even in the 80s after those guys if they were to hit the market. So I'm just thinking about the future in that regard. So here we go against the Eagles this week. Let's see if we can get a win in this one. Well, we lost to the Eagles, but we got the Vikings coming up. They're 3-5. So, you know, not looking too bad, not looking too shabby. You know, we're still over 500, of course. We're 6-3, which isn't bad at all. And we beat the Vikings to get back on track. We beat them by 3, and we're playing the Lions this week, who are 8-1. Let's see if we can get another win here. We go into the bye week next week after this game against Detroit. And we're in the bye week, and we beat the Lions by 3 touchdowns. So not that bad. And we actually got some staff points to spend, so let's go ahead and spend some of them. Kind of want to give some more to our offensive coordinator if I can, you know, because he could use some upgrades in certain ways. So we gave him an upgrade on plugged in and game on. So he's getting up there a little bit. Perkins, his rating is starting to go up just a little bit. I'll help him out. We're not doing any more negotiations at this point of the season. And everybody else who is set to hit the market, I'm going to let walk. Scout focus player delegates and staff. Okay. Well, we're 8-3. Let's check out the playoff picture because we can actually look at it now. So we have the 3 seed right. We're the 3rd seed right now in the playoffs. We would play the Colts. We've got the Dolphins and the Ravens, and we got the Bengals and the Steelers. The Chiefs had the number 1 seed. So that's what the playoffs are looking like in year 1. Play the Texans this week. They're 5-7. Not as good as I thought they would be, but we win this game, we can take more control of the division. Unfortunately, we lose. Division standings, we are in 2nd place behind the 9-4 Colts. The Colts are actually having a little bit of a better year than I thought they would. A bit surprising, yeah, but still. All right, so now we've got the Tennessee Titans this week, another divisional matchup. Hopefully we can get a win here. They're 5-7, just like the Texans were. We lost to them last week. But we bounced back with a win over Tennessee, which is good. But unfortunately, we've got a new injury. Let's see who's hurt now. Well, who's hurt? So Cam Robinson has broken ribs. IR. 3 weeks. Robinson, Dixon. Okay, I think this guy's new. He tore his ACL. He's out for 28 weeks. I don't know who the new injury is. My guess is Cam Robinson. He can't return. He has broken ribs for 3 weeks. And we gave him a new contract, too. But you know what? He'll be back next season. I think that's the reason to keep him, if you ask me. I know that, giving money to an injured player is a risk, but I feel like it's a risk worth taking. So after the first, so we see the playoff picture. We're still the 3 seed. We may be locked into the 3 seed. Are we currently leading the AFC South? We are. So we're actually, we have the same record as the Colts, but we're up on them. Play the Jets this week. Assume Aaron Rodgers is still starting for them. It's 6-7. And unfortunately, we actually lose to the Jets by 5. And that pretty much put us in the 2nd place in our division. We should still be in the playoff hunt, I would hope. Yes, but we dropped down to the 3 seed. So the Colts have completely upped us by 1 game for sure. And we play the Raiders this week. They're 7-7. We're 9-5. Let's see if we can get a win. And we lost back-to-back games. Lost to the Raiders. We played and we're out of the playoff picture now. Well, now things are starting to get a little bit tighter. It's kind of a similar situation that the team was in last year. We were fighting for playoff hopes. And we're out of the playoffs right now. The Titans are last in our division. But we win this game, doesn't guarantee that we'll be clinching a playoff spot. We will see. And unfortunately, we lost to the Titans. So I think... So we have the same... We don't have the same record as the Colts. Well, unfortunately, unless we win this game, I think we're for sure out of the playoffs. I think I want to go ahead and play this game just to see if us winning it gives us a... Let me check out the playoff picture for right now. So we're nowhere to be found, but let me take a look at the rest of the league's standings and maybe see what the scenarios are kind of looking like in terms of maybe if we win this game and somebody else loses, would we still have a shot at the postseason? Okay, so there's 4 teams that are 9-7, including us. So if maybe a couple of these guys lose and we win, maybe we could fight our way in the playoffs. But I don't know. There's no guarantee about that. And also, we would have to do it playing against the Colts, who are already leading our division. They've already clinched the division, so they don't really have too much to play for anyway, except for maybe seeding. I'm going to stand up, guys. I'll be back. I'll tell you one thing, though. It'd be hard to imagine, even if we win against the Colts, we finish the season 10-7 and don't make the playoffs. But it would be a sign of just how tight this division race is and also how tight of a playoff race it was for teams to be able to have a chance to fight for a shot at the postseason. So, that's kind of the scenario we're looking at right here. All right, so I'm going to play this game against the Colts and see if we can fight our way into the playoffs. Right now, we would not be in the postseason if the season ended, but maybe we can go on the road, beat the Colts, and we could fight our way in. But we will see.
And we're going to see Travis Etienne. He'll be a focal point of his offense this week. It's the Jaguars and the Colts, just ahead on EA Sports. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League finds us in the Hoosier Stadium at Lucas Oil Stadium.
9-7 against a team that's 11-5. Even if we win and we don't make the postseason, finishing 10-7 would be nice. It'd be better than what the Jaguars did last season anyway. So this year would count as an upswing from where we took from compared to when we took over after they had that debacle. So hopefully we can get a win against the Colts. Won't be easy though because they're pretty good this year. Here we go. Trevor Lawrence, first opportunity to play with him. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Trevor Lawrence is hurt. What happened to him? Like, oh my God. Trevor Lawrence is injured in the most critical game of the season? Oh, we got to play with Mac Jones? Okay, well, you know what? 72 overall Mac Jones is the solution. And you know what? That was a pretty nice pass to Travis Etienne to start things out on 3rd and 10. All right, return of the Mac. Let's go, Mac. All right. Well, I think it's poetic. The homegrown kid finally getting a chance to start, and he's got a shot to lead his team to the postseason. Brian Thomas, rookie corner of the end zone, touchdown. Let's go. Good throw, Mac. He was once a starter. He's played in bigger games. Colts go down the field and tie it up, so we got to win this game with our backup quarterback. How about that? Oh, wait, Trevor Lawrence is back. Okay, well, Mac Jones came in and did what he had to do, but Trevor Lawrence is back in the fold, and Travis Etienne, 90 overall club member, gets the first down.
I think everybody in the stadium saw that run coming, Mike, but good luck stopping it. I mean, all he really had to do was just fall forward.
So Trevor Lawrence is back in the game. He's not hurt anymore. He must have got banged up in the first quarter. He's back. He's slinging it. Christian Kirk, 6. So now we're starting to move the offense. Playing defense here, 1st and 10. That's the end of, it's a 2-minute warning now. See if we can make a stop on defense, prevent the Colts from getting in the end zone.
Richardson to throw it here on 1st down.
Get around him. Totally misplayed that. Took a bad angle, let Jonathan Taylor walk into the end zone. I'm going to try the screen play here with Etienne because he's good out of the backfield. There we go. Make the catch. There we go. Okay, made some nice moves, but I think that's coming back. There's a flag. And it's holding on the offense, of course. Come on, Cleveland. What are you doing? It's 1st and 16. And get the lead before we hit halftime. Kirk again. Held on to that one.
And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line. Lawrence gives this one to Etienne. And he'll get about 5. They'll break the huddle.
They have all 3 timeouts left.
From the shotgun, it's Lawrence.
Throw it away. They can play another down, Trevor.
It's incomplete. 3rd and 5. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
In the middle, there we go. It's call timeout.
Target to Davis, he's got it. The Jags will use the first of their timeouts here.
Got 2 of them left.
Tick under a minute to go until halftime. A 1st down throw for Lawrence.
Run, Lawrence, run.
Initially,
all right, let's go no huddle here.
Job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. A little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a good game.
Run, Trevor, run. Go. Get out of bounds. Get out of bounds. Go out of bounds. Okay, that did take up a lot of time, though. We got 27 seconds left. We do have 2 timeouts, but 27 seconds is not as much. I shouldn't have burned so much time just getting back to the line after getting called timeout.
This one is caught by Kirk.
Right, timeout.
For the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9. A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. Now Lawrence.
I dropped it.
Incomplete.
Come on, Ingram.
They couldn't quite connect there on that short pass, Mike. I just think it's worth reminding everyone how different the concepts are down here in the red zone than what the rest of the game plan calls for in the normal part of the field.
Good pass. There we go. Christian Kirk with his 2nd touchdown catch of the game. Back on top going into the half. Beautiful. 3rd and 3 in 3rd quarter. Colts didn't do anything on their first offensive possession. So we have a chance to, of course, add to our lead. And, that was a bad throw. I didn't lead Kirk well on that throw at all. I led him right into a defender. That's what happened. The Colts are starting to drive here. It's 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, here's Richardson.
Incomplete. Nice hit.
On through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. They'll run here. And that will get them back on schedule. Good pickup of 7. Sets up 3rd and 3. Out of shotgun, Richardson.
Oh! Wide open in the end zone. Howie Cox. It's 4th quarter now. So we're getting pretty heated up.
They'll keep it on the ground.
Couldn't get to the point. It's 4th quarter now. There's not much time left.
2nd and 6 coming up. Here's Taylor. And he's going to be taken.
If they get another 1st down, they'll probably be in the range of their kicker. So we got to send everybody. We're going to go overload. So they're going to be running it with Taylor. If they don't, then I'm going to be surprised. And we get the stop. Let's go. Let's call a timeout. It's 4th and 3. Call a timeout. And I guess they're going to punt it. They're not going to kick a field goal. All right. Okay, we got to go. We got a chance to take this ball down the field and go win it. Solid punt there, but we get the ball at the 23-yard line. Of course, we get full control of this drive. We got 149. We got 2 timeouts left. All we need is a field goal to win. Trevor. Okay, Davis. Some pickup right there. Let's go no huddle. Okay, option.
2nd down, Lawrence.
Good route. There we go. We go Brian Thomas. Tightrope the sideline. Young man, get out of bounds. There we go. I think we're already close to getting in field goal range. What a play by the rookie. Let's go.
He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a 1st down. To throw is
Kirk.
Lawrence.
Oh, come on, Kirk. I need you to hold on to the ball, man.
Incomplete. We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. In motion comes Thomas. Now 2nd down throw for Lawrence.
Make that catch. Make that play, Kirk. There we go. All right, let's call it. Oh, never mind. They called it time. 10 catches, 114 yards, 2 TDs for Captain Kirk.
Not been able to keep him under wraps. Now 10 catches in the game.
He's had a great game. It's 1st and 10. We don't really need to be too aggressive here.
On 1st and 10.
I mean, we're in field goal range. Could just kind of dunk it a little bit.
And he's close to another 1st down.
Colts call another timeout. You only need 2 more yards to get this 1st down. We're in field goal range. If we get this 1st down, that'll definitely make them burn their last timeout. We don't get it, but they burn their last timeout, so it's 3rd and 1. Let's run it. Let's try to pick up this 1st down so we can bleed more of that clock, and we can start using the rest of our timeouts to set this ball up in the middle of the field for game-winning field goal. All right, we picked up the 1st down. Unfortunately, we had to burn a timeout because Evan Ingram is hurt. That's not good. There's 55 seconds left. I don't want to call that timeout until we've let out as much of this clock as we possibly can. Okay, so now it's ticking at like 50. Okay, all right then. I think we can run one more running play and possibly get even closer for a field goal shot.
I think at this point in the game, he knows there's even more yards to be had.
Let's run it one more time. Dig ourselves as deep as we possibly can. 20 seconds. Keep an eye on that clock. I want to burn that timeout. Let's keep up. 1 timeout left. And we're going to go ahead and take it right about now. All right, 2 seconds left. We're going to kick a field goal to win this game. This could possibly send us to the playoffs in year one.
Big spot coming here.
But let's see.
This to win the game.
It's up and good, and we beat the Colts to end the regular season. Only question is it enough to make the playoffs? Regardless, this was a tough, hard-fought game. Really had to scratch and claw. We had injuries during this game. Lawrence had to go out on that first drive, so Matt Jones came in, but he threw a touchdown pass to help us out tremendously. And we get the 24-21 win on the road in Indianapolis. Christian Kirk had 2 touchdowns. We also had a touchdown, I think, from Brian Thomas. So the receiving core, they did a pretty decent job tonight.
Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL.
So,
we say good night.
Solid win to end the regular season, but did we make the playoffs? Even finishing 10-7 doesn't guarantee us a spot. So we're going to see if that was enough to make the postseason. And it looks like, unfortunately, it wasn't enough. So the first year of the rebuild, we finished the season 10-7, but we don't make the playoffs. Let's see how close we came to possibly getting in. So a bunch of teams were 11-6. We were one spot out of making the playoffs. So if the Dolphins had maybe lost, or we beat the Colts. So maybe if the Dolphins lost, we would have had a shot. But we were just on the outside looking in. We were one spot out of the postseason. So a little bit better than last season in terms of our record and the fact that we won our final game of the regular season. We didn't end it with a whimper like the Jaguars did in real life in 2023. But no playoffs is still no playoffs. This team has not been in the playoffs for the last 2 seasons. Next year has to be a year of that, and we're going to have to make some decisions about some players because, we can't keep everybody. So let's go ahead and advance through the playoffs, and we'll see kind of, what happens. Let's check out the playoff bracket after the first week. So the Bengals scored 53 points and beat the Chargers. Wow, blew them out the building. Ravens go on the road and actually upset the Colts. Maybe us beating them exposed something, who knows. And then the Dolphins beat the Steelers, so it's Bengals, Dolphins, Ravens against the Chiefs again in the playoffs. The Cowboys lose to the Eagles once again as the number 2 seed. Once again, they lose. Hopefully Mike McCarthy is fired. Lions beat the Seahawks, and the Falcons beat the Cardinals. And so it's Lions, Falcons, and the 49ers and the Eagles. And that's the divisional round. See about the championship weekend. See who wins here. Championship weekend is going to be, once again, Mahomes against Joe Burrow. The Bengals beat the Dolphins and the Chiefs beat the Ravens. So it's Chiefs, Bengals, and it's Falcons, Eagles in the NFC Championship game. Once again, a rematch of the 04 NFC title game when McNabb and Vic were in the league. So we've got the 49ers against the Eagles, and we've got, so the 49ers, they lost to the Eagles as the higher seed. The number 1 seed lost to the 7th seed in the playoffs. And the 4th seed beat the 3 seed as the Falcons beat the Lions. So that's the way the NFC Championship and AFC Championship games are looking. So let's see who wins and goes to the Super Bowl in the first year of the rebuild. And the Chiefs beat the Bengals. So once again, Mahomes beats Burrow, and the Eagles beat the Falcons. So it's a rematch of the Super Bowl from a couple years ago. Chiefs against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Let's check out the Pro Bowl roster, and let's see if any Jaguars made it. Christian Kirk made the Pro Bowl. Brandon Sheriff made the Pro Bowl. Eric Armstead made it. Okay, so we've got 3 Jaguars in there now. And it looks like that is it. Oh, Darnell Savage made it. Okay, cool. Awesome. So Savage. And we also had Sheriff, one of our offensive linemen, he made it, and also Christian Kirk. So I think we had 3 Jaguars in the Pro Bowl this year. Oh, Armstead made it too, so 4 of them. All right. So let's advance to Super Bowl week, and let's see who wins it. Oh, actually, we don't have the Super Bowl played yet. Let's check out the yearly awards. So Mahomes was the MVP. Coach of the Year went to Jonathan Gannon of the Cardinals. All right, getting things going the right way in Arizona, I guess. AFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Mahomes. No Jaguars in here. Defensive Player of the Year, no Jaguars in here. AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Keon Coleman. Brian Thomas finished 6th. Defensive Rookie of the Year, no Jaguars there. Best QB. Trevor Lawrence finished 6th. Best running back. Etienne finished 8th. Best receiver. Kirk finished 5th. Best offensive lineman. Sheriff finished 9th. Best defensive lineman. Eric Armstead finished 6th. And also Josh Allen finished 10th. Best linebacker. No Jaguars. We got 2 DBs in here. Trey Flowers and Darnell Savage finished 6th and 7th. Best DB. Best kicker. Cam Little actually finished 5th. Okay. So no real Jaguars in consideration for any awards, but it's okay. We had a few Pro Bowlers this year. So let's see who wins the Super Bowl rematch between the Chiefs and the Eagles. Do the Eagles get their revenge, or do the Chiefs win their 3rd in a row? And it looks like that the Chiefs win their third consecutive Super Bowl. The MVP was Brian Cook, free safety. Okay. So the NFL MVP was Mahomes. Jonathan Gannon was Coach of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year was Mahomes, so he won 2 awards. Defensive Player of the Year, I actually went to Patrick Queen of the Steelers. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Keon Coleman of the Bills. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Quentin Mitchell from the Eagles. All right. So that's how the first year of the rebuild looks. Let's go ahead and check out the retirements, and let's see who all retired. So Patrick Peterson finished his career with the Texans, and he retired. Weeks retired. Autry retired. Harrison Smith retired. Stephon Gilmore retired. Ryan Tannehill, Russell Wilson, Taysom Hill retired. So did Cameron Jordan, Jeff Driscoll, Bobby Wagner's retiring. Josh Johnson retires. Adam Thielen retires. Aaron Rodgers retires after his 1 full season with the Jets. Well, and so did Tyron Smith, Cowboys legend. LaRaven Clark, Wreckham, he retired too. So did Darius Slay. Calais Campbell retired. Mostert retired. C.J. Goodwin retired. Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce retires after winning a Super Bowl. Going out on top. Levante David retires. Jordan Hicks retires. Burton. Von Miller's retiring. And then a bunch of these other free agents. Linville Joseph retired, even though he finished his career technically in Dallas. Mercedes Lewis retires. He's been in the league forever. Josh Wells retires. Verrett retires. Jason Peters retires. Didn't find an NFL team this season, I guess. Most of these guys are free agents. Let's see about us. Did we lose anybody in retirement? I don't think we did, based on the list that I'm seeing there. Nope, no retires. Nobody retired from the Jaguars. So everybody who was on the roster is still going to be able to play in the NFL next season. So that's what we're looking like right there. All right. So I want to take a look actually at mock draft 4. What pick do we have? Because we just finished on the outside looking in of making the playoffs. So I know we won't have a very high pick, but hopefully we have something that's in the middle of the draft. We have the 18th pick, and they project us to take cornerback Benjamin Morrison of Notre Dame. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty confident that's a real player like the rest of them. That actually may be a decent pick for us because we could use some help at corner. We did have injuries in the secondary this season, but hopefully guys like, Tyson Campbell will be back. That'll be a tremendous help. But we could use some help at corner with somebody like Morrison. Emory Jones looks pretty tempting at right tackle because that was one of the weaker positions on our offensive line. I think we could use some linebacker help and defensive tackle help. But honestly, I'm also considering not drafting a quarterback maybe in the first round, but maybe getting somebody in the second round who's not too bad to challenge Trevor Lawrence. Because, I don't know, 76 overall Is he going to be able to get any better than that or not? And that's kind of what I'm wondering. So looking at the draft, though, in terms of quarterbacks, the first quarterback projected to go off the board actually is Quinn Ewers at 8 to the Saints, okay? They project Jalen Milroe to go at 14 to the Vikings, although they just drafted J.J. McCarty, so I don't really know. I mean, I know he was injured, but I don't know why they would draft another quarterback just to compete with the quarterback they drafted last year, who they hope would play the whole season. But that's Madden broken logic for you. And they don't have any other quarterbacks projected to be off the board in the first round. So what about maybe, let's see, maybe I can look at like prospects and see like what other quarterbacks are. Okay, so Milroe and Ewers are going in the first round for sure. They do have a first-round grade on Carson Beck. Same thing with Shedeur Sanders. 1 to 2 for Cam Ward, who's the quarterback from Miami. Drew Willar has a day 3 selection by his name, second or third round. Maybe he could be a target for a backup rookie quarterback and also somebody who we could potentially turn to if Trevor Lawrence continues to regress. Or maybe somebody like Jackson Dart, but they have him projected to be a potentially undrafted free agent. But that could be a steal. I don't know. Possibly. But yeah, maybe somebody like Cam Ward or Drew Willar you could potentially look at as a second-round pick. Just due to the fact that we could use some challenge for Trevor Lawrence. And if he's not going to get better than 76 or in the high 70s, then maybe we should get a rookie, even if they're not a first-round pick, who's younger and can grow a little bit more and have more of an upside. Not saying I'm giving up on Trevor Lawrence, but if our quarterback is stuck in the middle 70s, then we're going to be a middle-of-the-road team. I mean, I know we had a decent season this year. We finished one game short of making the playoffs. But we got to see movement in a forward direction this upcoming season. You know, that's what we got to see. So anyway, let's go ahead and advance and get to the re-signed player stage. Let me see if there's maybe anybody else that I may even want to consider bringing back. I don't think there is. We have $18 million. So let's go ahead and accept the options for Lloyd and also for Trayvon Walker. So we accepted the offer. We actually have $18 million. So we have a little bit more extra money than I thought. But I really don't think anybody else is worth keeping around. I don't really see that. Gibson, maybe, but he was injured the entire season, and, you know, there's a chance we can improve there. So you know what? We're going into the offseason with $18 million spent in free agency, and that's what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and advance to next week when free agency fully begins for us. And I want to also check and see if this is a moment where I can possibly adjust the contracts of players. It may not be until the following season. Okay, we can't even do that. So maybe the next offseason is when we can actually start to mess with the contracts. Because right now, Etienne is going into his last season. So is Evan Ingram, and so is Christian Kirk. And I think Kirk is somebody that we're probably going to be moving on from, as well as our punter and Morse as well. So some of these guys and these receivers, yeah, maybe Ronald Darby, I'll move on from him as well after this season. So, yeah. Okay, well, let's take a look at our roster, our bare bones roster right now, and let's see, maybe in free agency, at least for this first round, what we can really look at. Running backs are looking okay. I'm okay with Robinson and Bigsby backing up Etienne. I don't think there's really a need to look at anything there. We do need a fullback. We'll get one in free agency. If there's a really good receiver out there, I think that is going to be worth looking at. We're good there. We're good at left tackle. We could use upgrade at left guard. Center's pretty good, even though Morrison last year was deal. But at least for this year, I'm okay with him. Sheriff is back. Right tackle. Now, that's a position we're also looking at first round in the draft. Defensive ends are pretty good. Defensive tackles are actually solid. If there's somebody that's really good, we can look at that. Left outside linebacker, maybe right outside linebacker. We need depth there. Corners, Tyson Campbell, of course, is coming back off the injury, so that's going to be a big boost. Darby is still here, so if we got a high 70s guy, maybe. Cisco, we just Just got him on a new deal. Savage is 78. I think I'm still good with the way our secondary is. I don't really think there's really a need to invest in that. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into free agency, and let's see who's just out here. Let's see who's available and who is available this offseason. Well, the top guy is Nick Chubb. He usually is going in the first year of these franchise modes. The best receiver available is Amari Cooper, but he's not too much better than what we already have. He doesn't really fit our scheme. Let me see if there's a receiver who's not super highly rated but fits things better. I don't really know if that's really too worth it. Maybe for Elijah Moore to 79 overall. We only have 19 million to spend, so I don't really think it's worth diving into that too much. Let's see about right tackles. Ooh, Havenstein 81 overall, and Morgan Moses is an 81 overall too. Maybe one of these guys. None of them fit our scheme, but they're interested in coming here. Maybe we can do a 1-year rental with Morgan Moses, but that drops us down to $3.3 million. Okay, let's actually change it to a team-friendly deal. We're probably lowballing him by doing this, obviously, but if there's nobody else that's interested, maybe it would be worth it. But that may be tough sledding. Defensive tackle-wise, there's nobody really elite here. Left outside linebackers, nothing really too much better than what we have. Corners, there's some decent guys there, but nobody that really stands out. Same thing with the safeties. Good on kickers. We do need a backup quarterback. We'll just get somebody cheap. We'll just bring in Mason Rudolph to be our backup quarterback. And now we're down to 1.5. So this is all who we've targeted. This free agency period, at least for this year, is not going to be very good because of the fact that we just don't have the money to spend. So we're targeting Morgan Moses, right tackle, and Mason Rudolph as well. We actually we do need some depth at right outside linebacker, but I think we'll just have to address that in the draft. So let's go ahead and advance and see if we got Moses and Mason Rudolph. So let's see what we have. We got Morgan Moses. All right, awesome. I did not think we were going to be able to get him, so we just got a big upgrade at right tackle, 81 overall. Solid. 34 years old, but hey, it's a 1-year deal. It's a cheap deal. That's who we've got. Mason Rudolph was his only offer. He'll probably sign with us for sure. I want to look at right outside linebackers because we just need depth there. We don't have anybody there to back up our starter. So let's just get somebody who's close. Ooh, Ngakoue. But I don't think we have the funds to pay him. I don't even know this team-friendly deal. Yeah, we don't even have enough to do this. Okay, so let's just go really, really cheap. And Chris Rumpf II. I have no idea who this is, but let's see if it's a cheaper deal. We don't have the cap room. Okay, so you know what? We don't even have enough room to do that, so it's not really worth it. Let's just go ahead and go with Morgan Moses being our prime free agent and also getting a Mason Rudolph to be our backup quarterback. So let's see if we were able to get Rudolph to sign. We did get him to sign to be our backup quarterback, and we've got Morgan Moses. So that helps out the offensive line, and we've got our backup quarterback now. So things are looking good in that department. So we've got our backup quarterback. And right tackle, Moses, 82 overall. Big upgrade there. So now that we've got an upgrade on the offensive line at right tackle, I don't think we need to really address that in the draft. We can probably really go with, best position available, but maybe linebacker, left outside linebacker specifically, maybe the way to go. We can get another corner. A lot of positions are really open. There's not like one definitive position that we really just need to address. We do need a fullback, but we're going to worry about that when we get to free agency after the draft because there's going to be some guys that are dirt cheap that we can get, so I'm not too worried about that. So I think actually we're going to go ahead and bypass the rest of free agency and just skip ahead to the draft. So let's go ahead and get through the private workouts. I think they do one more final mock draft before we go do the actual draft, but let's see. Can we go to the draft and see Scout College? Okay, so let's go to mock drafts now and see if they have us projected to do something different. Okay, so some things have changed. The Panthers now have, okay, that was actually the first one. Okay, so this mock draft 5. Did they change the player that we're projected to take? No, they did. Okay, so they project us to take Emory Jones Jr. now. Originally, they had us taking Benjamin Morrison, which, if he falls to us, still could be solid. But we just signed Morgan Moses to be our new starting right tackle, so I don't really know if we need another one. I mean, he's only on a 1-year deal, so it may be worth it for Emory Jones Jr. or maybe Jonas Sabanelli. I don't know. It's really kind of up in the air. We could really shake things up and just take Jalen Milroe before the Steelers do, but I'm thinking second-round pick is where we go with the quarterback to maybe give Trevor Lawrence a bit of a challenge or something like that. So let's see. Let's start the draft.
Every career stuff.
Skip the video because I know what it's like. All right, on the clock with the 19th overall pick. Let's see here. Jalen Milroe is still available. All right. We're going to create some controversy, but let's do it. We're taking Jalen Milroe with our first-round pick. And it's a B-plus grade, too. Excels. I mean, yeah, this is a solid pick, you know. And I don't want to draft busts either. We're giving Trevor Lawrence some challenge. Malachi Moore from Alabama, that's pretty tempting, but this receiver, Trey Harris from Ole Miss, looks pretty good too. I think we needed help at receiver too, so let's go with him. And it's a B-minus selection. All right. Looks the ball in his hands, makes 50-50 balls with like 80-20 balls. Good technique, creates separation on deeper routes. All right, cool. Kobe Bryant from Kansas. Cornerback. We actually could use some help at corner, so you know what? I'm going to go with Kobe. It's a C selection, but that's okay. Fast enough, shows good instincts, decent man cover skills. All right. We have a pick in the 3rd round here. Another one. We do need some help at left outside linebacker. Sony Styles from Ohio State looks pretty good. Let's go with him. Well, it's a C-minus selection, but that's not too bad considering where we're picking. That's good speed for a linebacker. Can be trusted to drop into zone coverage. Average recognition leads to inconsistent play. All right. Well, still, Styles looks pretty solid. Here we are in the 4th round here. There's some corners that are good, that are available, but this strong safety, Jack Howell from Colorado State, doesn't look too bad. And we could use some depth there. Let's go with him. It's a C-minus selection, consistent tackler, not a burner, but decent speed, needs more time in the film. All right. Well, he's a late-round pick for a reason. Another 4th-round selection for us. We got a lot of picks, actually. I don't want to draft another corner because we just got one. Terrence Ferguson doesn't look too bad of a tight end. This may be a reach for a 4th-round pick, but let's take this tight end Ferguson. C+. Okay, soft hands, all-star contested catching ability. Intermediate route running is inconsistent. Okay, well still, Terrence Ferguson doesn't look too shabby. We could use some backup. What about maybe a right outside linebacker for depth? All these guys are potentially undrafted free agents. A lot of corners. But I'm actually going to take this right tackle, Xavier Truss from Georgia. Well, that's a bad pick, deep pick. Played college basketball for 2 years, rarely pushed back by power moves, needs to improve awareness. All right, well, he sounds like a project, but still, hey, it's depth. And that's kind of what we're looking for with that selection anyway. Here we are in the 6th round. There's this punter that's James Burnett from Alabama. You know, he doesn't look too bad. This may be controversial, but let's take a special teams player in the 6th round. It says good pick. B-. Former high school power forward, outstanding leg to boom punts, consistency drops punts inside the 20. Sounds like a great future starter at punter for us. So we're thinking about the future early. Well, here we go. 7th round pick. I'm pretty sure this is our last pick. Could get a kicker. There's some quarterbacks here that don't look too bad. You know what? Let's go a little bit homegrown with our last pick. Let's take DJ Olongale. Florida State, close to home. It's a bad pick, but you know what? It's a gamble, you know. So we're taking a local kid. All right. So let's go ahead and check out the draft recap. We had a lot of picks, and I think we had a pretty good draft. 1st round, 18th overall pick, Jalen Milroe. 72 overall to start out with. So give him a couple years on the bench developing. Maybe he'll be ready to take the starting job away from Trevor Lawrence. And I'm just thinking about the future because if Lawrence's ceiling is only like mid to high 70s, who knows what the ceiling for Milroe could be as a rookie, you know, and he'll only get better, so we will see. We drafted Trey Harris, a receiver out of Ole Miss in the 2nd round. 3rd round pick was corner Kobe Bryant from Kansas. We took Sonny Styles, a linebacker, left outside linebacker from Ohio State. We took Jack Howell from Colorado State in the 4th round, a strong safety. Tight end Terrence Ferguson in the 4th round. Xavier Truss, a right tackle in the 5th round, and a punter, James Burnett. And we took DJ Olongale in the 7th round. That was more of kind of a appeal to the local flavor, if you will. So let's go ahead and adjust our roster, and let's see what we're really looking like post-draft. So our quarterback room is a little bit full now. So Jalen Milroe, of course, is going to be our backup this season. Probably actually didn't really need to get Mason Rudolph to be our backup, but you know what? Now we got 4 quarterbacks, including a guy that almost went undrafted in DJ. 60 overall, 73 for Milroe. So we'll see about the improvement. I mean, Lawrence is actually up to an 81. So it looks like he had a pretty good offseason to begin with. Maybe he saw the pick and he got in the weight room and helped himself out. We actually don't have a fullback. We can address that in free agency. So Trey Harris is our 5th best receiver on the depth chart now. I would have adjusted Milroe's number, but let me see if I can get Trey Harris his college number. He wears number 9, so let's see if we can give him that. I don't think we can. Let's see. As you know, I like to give kids their college numbers in this game if I can. All right, well, let's make him number 18 for now, and let's see who's wearing number 9, if anybody is. Is there a quarterback wearing number 9? I don't think so. No, there isn't. There's a punter or kicker. Oh, Logan Cook is. Okay. Well, we drafted Burnett. Can we actually... Okay, he's an 81 overall. This guy's a 73. Can we actually cut Logan Cook? Fail and cure a penalty. Okay, so let's just adjust this number. I don't want to cut it. Let's give him actually number 19 so we can give this guy... So we can give Harris his college number. Okay. Washington, we got Cooks. Tight ends, Terrence Ferguson. I know he played at Oregon, but Terrence Ferguson. Okay, there he is. Okay, well, he does wear number 3 at Oregon. We can't give him that number, so you know what? Let's keep him wearing 84. Xavier Truss was our lineman pick. Xavier Truss. There he is. He wears number 73 at Georgia. Okay. Devin Cochran, I don't really know who this is. Can we actually cut him? Yeah, let's just go ahead and cut him. So we can give Truss's number. He would have probably been cut during camp anyway, so I'm not really investing too much into that. There we go. Sony Styles. That was our other pick. Sony Styles. There he is. Okay, he wears number 6. Ohio State. Oh, well, Darnell Savage wears that number. Can Savage maybe take 26 like he did in Green Bay? Or can we not do that? Let's see if we can. 28. Oh, Antonio Johnson's wearing 26. Let's change his number. Let's change his number. Let's give Savage back 26. So that way we can give Sony Styles his number back. His college number. Okay. So we actually don't have another left. Can we move Abdullah over to the right side? Also, it looks like we've reached the point of the offseason where we can actually restructure some contracts. So I'm actually going to start doing that with some of the higher paid guys so we can get some cap room saved for down the road. Oh, yeah, Kobe Bryant. Okay, he wears number 2. There's number 2. All right, well, Mason Rudolph's wearing number 2. Let's give him 18. I know it's going to look wonky, but whatever. Let's give Bryant his old college number. Jack Howell. That was another. I don't know if this is a real player or not, but we will see. Jack Howell, Colorado State. Oh, he is a real player. Wears number 17. Okay, so he is a real guy. Well, that's Ingram's number, so let's just keep him wearing 29. That number's going to be too tough for me to change. Now, Milrow. What? So Tank Bigsby. What other numbers has he worn throughout his career, maybe? Okay, I know he wears 4 now. Okay, he wore that at Auburn as well, so that's his college number. All right, well, we'll keep Milrow. Can he wear maybe number 14 or something like that? No. 10's the only number he can. Okay, so let's just keep him rocking number 10 for now. We'll probably change that number when it gets closer to that. In Ungale, we'll keep him wearing number 15. That's the best we could do given the circumstances that we have in terms of like numbers and everything like that. Okay, then. So before we actually get to advancing, let's go to manage. Let's go to our team and let's see if we can restructure some of these deals. Let me see if we can restructure Josh Allen's contract. We can't. Okay, so there's only certain player contracts that we can probably adjust. But let's see. What about ETN? Can we adjust his contract? Maybe that was only possible when... let me see. Maybe we can do it this way. Stats and contracts. Okay, so we can't do any adjusting there. What about Ingram? Maybe we can adjust contracts. I saw it in the screen there. Okay, so let's go back to that adjust roster screen. Let's see if we can actually adjust contracts by doing this. All right, so let's see. Okay, we can't do that here. Okay, so let's go position by position. Let's just start with Lawrence. Can we adjust anything with his contract? Nope. Can't adjust anything with ETN's contract. We already looked at that. What somebody like Tank Bigsby? Can we do anything with adjusting his contract? Restructure contract. Okay, we'll free up 130K. We added. Okay, hey, every little bit helps. So let's go ahead and do that with him. Any player we can do this with, I think, is worth it. Okay, we can't do anything with the restructuring of his. We don't have a fullback. What about Kirk? Can we adjust his contract at all? No, we can't. What about Gabe Davis? Nope. Duvernay, he's on the last year of his deal. Parker Washington. Let's see. That'll free up 20K. That's not a lot, but it's a little. So all these backup players, we restructure their deals. Maybe that can help us out a little bit. Okay, but only a few of these players we can actually restructure their contracts. Can we just Ingram's? Nope. How about this backup tight end? Strange. We can restructure his. It'll free up 160K. Okay. Quinterano, a.k.a. the Tarantino, whatever his name is. We can't adjust his contract, though. Ross, we can restructure his. It'll save us 20K. All right. Can we restructure Cam Robinson's contract? No, we just gave him a new contract. Yes. Foster, can we adjust his? Nope. Can we just Morse's maybe? Nope. Makes sense because he's on the last year of his deal. Let's restructure his. We just brands will free up 1.92 million. That's good. Morgan Moses. I know we just signed him, but can we restructure his deal? No, we can't do it. It's only a one-year deal. That's probably why. What about Harrison? Can we adjust his deal? Adjust his contract, restructure his? We have 48K. I mean, that's good. Rookies, I don't think we can really we can't adjust anything with their contracts. I would imagine we can't do that. What about Eric Armstead? So his will free up 400K. That's not bad. About Trayvon Walker. We just brought him back on a fifth-year option. We can restructure his. That'll free up $2.37 million. All right, that's good. That really helps. We can't do anything with Allen. Can we adjust Miles Cole's contract yet? Or no? No, we can't do anything with his. What about Hamilton? No. What about Lloyd? Can we pick up his fifth-year option? That'll free up 710K. Wilkin? Nope. How about Tyson Campbell? Can we adjust his deal? No, we can't. Right, Darby, probably not because he's on the last year of his deal. Yeah, we can't do that. know we just re-signed Cisco. Free up $1.2 million. All right? That helps. Can we adjust Savage's deal? All right. Free up $940K. So we were able to free up some cap space by adjusting the contracts of players before the season began. So now we can actually do a couple of things in free agency to help us out before the season even begins, because we need to go sign a fullback. So let's go ahead and do that. So it looks like that there's certain gaps where you can start adjusting contracts of some guys. Yeah, unfortunately there's no fullbacks available, so that's the way it has to be. All right. Well, that is going to do it for this live stream, starting up the Jacksonville Jaguars rebuild. No playoffs in the first year. We were just on the outside looking in, but I think we've got a roster that pretty much we have the same core of players back, and we got a rookie backup quarterback who's going to be nipping at Trevor Lawrence's heels for probably the whole season to get a chance to play. So Lawrence, you start slipping up. Jalen Milroe may get some playing time. We will see. We drafted him for insurance purposes, and, who knows? If his ceiling's going to be bigger than Lawrence's, it may be worth it to see what he can do, if you know what I mean. So thank you all for checking out the live stream, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.